Are you ready? Have your attention, please. I'd like to call this meeting to order. This is a regular meeting of the Council of the City of Ottawa, Illinois. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll, please?
Awesome.
Here.
Gainier.
Here.
Eichelkraut.
Here.
Less.
Here.
Mayor.
Here.
We have 5 present.
Would you all stand, please, and join in the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Moved by Commissioner Awesome that the minutes of a regular meeting of the Council of the City of Ottawa, Illinois, held on Tuesday, August 4th, 2015, be approved as recorded in the permanent files of the City Clerk.
Is there a second to the motion? Commissioner Gainier, any comments or suggested changes or corrections? Roll call.
Awesome.
Aye.
Gainier.
Aye.
Eichelkraut.
Aye.
Less.
Aye.
Mayor.
Aye. Is there anyone wishing to appear before the council tonight? Katie?
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, please.
I'm appearing before the council tonight because you are going to consider annexation of property that I own on the east side of Ottawa. Since I purchased that property, someone's either been trying to take it, annex it, or somehow use it other than for the purpose that I wanted to use it for. I object to you trying to annex me. The property is contiguous with Bulls Island, which is a 60-acre parcel. My parcel is 25 acres. The adjacent property owner, Daphne Mitchell, is 25 acres, and the property that's owned by Larry Manning is 6 acres. If you do the numbers, it's 60, 50, 110, 116 acres. Your statutes indicate that it's illegal for you to annex us when we're that large of a parcel, and that's my position. So if you want the property, if you want to run the Riverwalk down there, make me an offer. Thank you.
Thank you, Katie. Daphne? That was Katie Tricoli for the record.
Hi, I'm Daphne Mitchell, and I am the adjacent property owner to Katie. And for some history, and I feel the same way Katie does, we bought the property in 1987 with a lot of other people who bought Bulls Island, Harper's Farm, to really use the property for recreation, for nature, for riverfront access. And most of us at that time, people laughed and said, it's Mosquito Coast. And it was very interesting after we purchased the property, and I will say a big thanks at that time to Bill Steep, who was banker in Seneca, and we all, or several of us, went through there because we couldn't get anyone to approve loans for us here in our hometown at the time. Shortly after we bought the property, we were approached by the high school who wanted to use it as land that was put aside for flooding because they wanted to build the dike. At the time, we had just bought it, and as we met with Mick Lynch, we said we really didn't buy this so that we could give it to be land that could be flooded. And I'm sure our council is very much aware of all the fine work that's gone on for the City of Ottawa. I, as a commissioner, too, was involved with the projects that we did with FEMA early on and that have continued. Our property is underwater a good part of the time, but it's used by the Audubon Society for bird counts. We purchase it for our families, for our children, as their inheritance, and at some point possibly selling it to Nature Conservancy or some body that would want to use it, or even originally we had thought we might even build our homes there or do vacation property there. We purchased ownership in the bar that is there to prevent any really awful things from happening after it was sold by the original owner. And we had docks that we still have our permits from the Corps of Engineers, but also we had permits for the bar when we had the big flood of 97. I believe. We lost all our brand-new docks with that horrific flood when the city of Sheridan and many other towns along the river had a lot of property lost. In any event, we have opposed annexation all along in the last several years because we really do want control, and I can say as long as Bob Eschbach is mayor, I would not fear for what happens, but when Bob isn't mayor anymore, I really fear for what might happen with annexation. And in the letter that we received just in the last few weeks, it really basically said that we could forcibly be annexed. And I really think we're different than pieces of property like houses who have not been paying taxes to the city. We pay our taxes to the county, and we really have it for our recreation and the use of our children and Katie now grandchild. That's our fear, and I fear eminent domain as well, and that's why we've opposed it all these years. And the person who really spoke for all of us, for the owners of Bulls Island, who I'm not speaking for tonight, and who spoke for us was Bob Dufault, who unfortunately passed away a year ago, January. Bob was a big proponent for keeping the private use of our property, and also brought forward to this council the last time annexation was proposed. He did stand before the council, and at that point he had legal representation that talked about us being contingent with Bulls Island, so that those 60 acres were considered adjacent to our acreage. Thank you for the ability to speak, and we really have heartfelt thoughts on this, that we are really worried about what the intent is, and again, we really feel that we're different than some of the properties that are being annexed in that are homes or in the city, when we are strictly nature. If you've not been there, it really is underwater a lot of the time, but it is truly wetlands, and there's a lot of wildlife there. We want it preserved, again, for ourselves, and as Katie said, you know, property is for sale, but we really don't want to see it at a fire sale, and we don't want to see our use of it hindered in any way. Thank you.
Thank you, Daphne. Is there anyone else who would like to address the council tonight?
I hand these to you, Tom, if you'd share these with the council members.